Councillor Smith, is he gone? Because I've only got a short. Yeah, he has. He's not there, is he?
Colin, you still got your screen shared with us.
All right.
Yeah, Councillor Smith had disappeared. Oh, right. Is there any other person want to say anything on this one? Good evening, Councillor Davison. Do you want to say anything on this application, first application? Application 1?
Apologies, Chair. I thought it was 7:15, so I'm a bit behind. Number 1. There's an objection from the neighbour. He's blocking out the skylight. Sorry, I didn't hear what was going on before.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's another bedroom, obviously, so isn't the parking an issue?
Good point.
I thought it was only an extension to an existing bedroom. I didn't know it was a. Are they remodeling it to provide an extra bedroom?
No, it's not. Not that I know of. It looked to me on the plans, it was just making it bigger. So I suppose that wouldn't make any difference, would it, parking? Councillor Smith's back.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, and we can see you.
Yeah, that's more to the point, isn't it? Are we still on the same item?
Yeah, we've just finished saying that the it's just an extension of a bedroom, making it bigger,
Okay.
but it doesn't stick out as far as the bit underneath the ground floor. Either thinly.
I think my only point is that. Sorry.
Yeah, go on. Yep.
So I think my only point is the fact that I like. Oh, you lost me again.
No,
can you hear me?
Fine. Yeah.
It's just come up within this. Let's lost again. Sorry. It's extending to a second floor, whereas everywhere else along that row is just the ground floor extension. So it's a bit out of keeping, out of step with the rest of the row. That is only my thoughts. I don't know if these buildings are protected in any way, any sort of any preservation orders at all, front or back. But that is the only issue that I would have.
Colin, can you give us a bit of advice on that? Would that be, sorry, I'll come to you, Councillor Smith. Would we be able to object on solely on grounds of that none of the others nearby have got an extension to the second floor?
Rear extensions are generally kind of acceptable anyway, and as somebody goes first, it's what's the impact of the rear extension on the neighbours. So, for instance, overshadowing, effectively meaning that the light is very low, even if the sun isn't actually causing an actual shadow. Any overlooking is a possibility. I just in itself, the fact that nobody else has done it, I don't think would be sufficient.
Right, thank you for that. Because I've noticed also that it's southerly aspect, so the light will, even with that sticking out a bit, I don't think that'd be much. It'll only be late in the evening that it might have an effect on that person, number 64 next door. Looking at the plans, because the plan where it says north is on the front, so at the back it's be south. So, right, Councillor Smith.
Yeah, I was just going to make the comment I think you've just alluded to, is that the neighbour has objected because they believe that their light would be affected through their what they call it, skylight they've got in their kitchen. So I think that is something to consider. I don't know whether it was set a precedent and others might start doing that, and then again they're overlooking others' gardens. But it's only the one neighbour that's objected at this point. Anyway, thank you.
Okay. Right, anyone else want to speak? No? Oh, Councillor Sitchcombe.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, I can't get a map up in front of me in a hurry, but surely the back side of that is north facing, isn't it? The Burton End is running very, very roughly east-west, and they're on the north side of the road, so their rears are north facing. So there's not a lot of light on that side of the building anyway, which I can see is possibly all the more reason why the neighbour is worried about their roof light being obstructed. But, you know.
Oh, is that, if that's the case, because I looked at the plans and it looked like it was, the front was showing north. It pointed up towards the front, northerly.
Well, did that mean looking northerly? I don't know. I never really understand that on architects.
Right, the arrow normally is pointing to, like they've got an arrow and then it says in. So the arrow, that means it's going north, pointing north. That's the way I interpret it. I might be wrong. I might need some help. Councillor Brown?
Yeah,
I can share it with you.
The rear of those properties where that extension's been built faces the north. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I've completely misinterpreted the plan then, because it to me the arrow normally says it, so it must mean the arrow means that it's pointing north, but that was showing the front of the house. So
no, those pictures are the back rear of the house.
Oh, the pictures are, no, but I'm talking about on the plan.
All right.
It's on, I don't think I've wrote it down. It's on the plan.
Did you want me to share the location plan?
Yes, please. Yeah. Oh, it might be on the elevations actually. On the elevation plan, it might be on there. That arrow. Oh, there's the arrow, but it doesn't say north on it. If you go down. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the arrow. It doesn't say. There's another one that says N on it.
Alicia, if you scroll down, you beat me to it on scrolling the screen.
Down on this page, on this one. No? Turn right. Go right.
Alicia, on the location plan you had up earlier, that shows a big arrow pointing north. You just scroll down from that one a little bit. Scroll down. It's just out of shot. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right. Now that's Burton End. Burton End is where the house is face the front, is it? Or is that the back of the house?
So Burton End, they face front. So north is up on that plan.
So the back will be facing south. Am I correct on that?
No.
No? Right. That's where I'm totally confused then.
The back is facing, the front of the house is facing the street, Burton End.
Oh, that's facing south, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Front. Right.
And the back is facing up the piece of paper, which is north-ish.
Thank you very much. So that completely puts a different light on it. Pardon the pun. Yeah, that will impinge on the light, definitely.
Well, what light? I mean, there isn't a lot of light there anyway. It's not like it's going to be blocking the sunlight for a vast part of the day, is it?
No.
I mean, it's an unfortunate effect of putting an extension on it, but as I say, it's a very modest first floor extension, isn't it? You know, they could have asked for a three-story extension, but they've only asked for a couple of floors, and what they have put on the first floor is very limited in extent, so it doesn't block the neighbours' first floor windows, and it will only have a limited block on the roof light on number 64.
Yeah, it doesn't show. Does it show how far out it comes? Is that down the bottom? Is that the one?
On the plan, it does. Oh yeah, it's there. It's there on the right. You can see.
Right. Yeah. So I'm being blocked by your faces. I'll move it over. There it is. Yeah. So it comes in quite a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Right. We've got to make a decision now. Okay. Thank you, Alicia, or whoever it is. Got it up. Thank you. Councillor Sitchcombe?
I propose neutral.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Brown?
I'll second that.
Right. All those in favour, please show. Oh, I'll see if I can put my video, see if it makes it. Oh. Okay, but Can you hear me? Yeah, right. All those in favour, that's carried, sorry. Application 2, which is DC 21 2476 TCA. This is 11 High Street. Trees in conservation area. Notification. Grouped mixed species. Red lines on plan. If you can get the plans up, please. Remove limbs to remove limbs by 2 meters to clearance of rear building. Okay, Councillor Smith, Dave Smith.
So is this 11 High Street we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, this one's, I'm sure it's already been decided.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks ago. It's looking at the application forms earlier, the plans earlier. It says it's already been decided.
You sure that's not a sort of earlier plan? Councillor Davison?
It was approved on the 20th of January by West
Right.
Suffolk.
Right, okay.
The plan did have an expiry date of the 12th of January. That is on the agenda.
Right. So we can't really, if it's been, well, I suppose we can still say something, can't we? Councillor Burns, why are you shaking your head?
Because it's been decided. There's nothing, they won't take any, absolutely zero notice of it. It was a delegated decision. And I didn't notice that either, but I only just downloaded the files. I didn't really read them, sorry.
Right, okay. Thank you. Right, application 3, which is DC 21 2409 HH 21 Abbots Road. Small A, first floor side extension. Small B, single story rear extension. Any comments on this one from anyone? No? Councillor Dave Smith, you're muted.
Yeah, I think it's just replicates what the next door have done, and yeah, it's exactly the same. There's precedent there. I can't see a problem with it. They've got a large driveway at the front, and I think they can accommodate the extra parking.
Okay. Anyone else? No? Can I have a proposer for a neutral then, please? Councillor Brown? Can I have a seconder for a neutral? Councillor Davison? All those in favour, please show. Okay, carried. Thank you. Applications. Can I have your permission to do the next 2 together, please? Give me a nod or a no. Okay. Right, this is applications 4 and 5. Councillor Stitchcombe, unless.
Thank you, Chair. Look, we seem to have terminological confusion here, partly with the agenda, and it was actually complicated by Councillor Brown's kind placing of files on his server. That number 4, that's 2386, is indeed Fennel's Close. Although I think Councillor Brown, you had that down as Hellions Walk. Number 5, 2385, is Hellions Walk, not Fennel's Close, as we've got it on list B.
Oh.
Yeah,
correct.
that's Councillor Burns' server, that is, Alan.
No, it's even on list B, it says it's Fennel's Close.
No, but it's nothing to do with me. It's on John Burns's server.
What? List B is our agenda, and that is wrong.
Yeah, you
I know,
said
but you-
Councillor Brown, you meant Councillor
You said
Burns.
Councillor Brown instead of Councillor Burns. Yeah.
Go on.
I've got my B's confused. I'm sorry.
Okay, blame me, but I took it off the agenda.
Right.
Okay, well, we need
Hold
to
on.
amend
So-
the agenda. The agenda is wrong for number 5, as far as I can see.
So shall I take that separate, number 5, as to number 4 then? Councillor Sitchcombe?
They
Or
are
do you-
two different locations in Haverhill, so I think you need to.
Right.
You thought it was safe to bundle them together because they were the same
Yeah.
location, but they're not actually. It's a cock up on our
Okay.
agenda.
Right.
Apologies for that, but Councillor Sitchcombe's quite correct. They're nowhere near each other.
Right, okay. Application 4, DC 21 2386. This is a TPO street record, Fennel's Close. So this one's right, isn't it? Fennel's Close. This is from West Suffolk Council. Right, is there any comments on this one? No? Can I have a neutral, please, proposer and seconder? Councillor Sitchcombe propose, Councillor Davison second. All those in favour, please show. Yep, carried. Right, application 5. I'm sorry, I've not put the, because I thought they were together. I've not put the number on it, I'm afraid. This is a TPO. It's 209. Open bracket 1994, close bracket. Tree preservation order. Small a 1 lime. Close bracket 342 on plan, T1 on order. Is that, am I reading this correct? Or is it complete? Is it this? Right, I'm seeing people's heads shaking. So this is, I'm reading this from what was on the agenda.
Chair, you should be looking at number 5, which is DC/21/2385/TPO.
Right, okay. So, right, thank you very much for that, Councillor. Right, application 5 then, which is DC 212385 TPO 189, open bracket 1993, close bracket. Tree preservation order, small a 5 ASA. Open bracket 491, 496 and 566 on plan with G2 on order, close bracket. Remove epicormic growth, small b 3 ASA, open bracket 494, 496 and 566 on plan with G2 on order, close bracket. Crown lift to 3 meters, small c 1 ash 563 on plan with G1 on order, close bracket. Reduce crown by 3 meters to clear building. Okay. Everyone okay with that? And anyone got any comments at all?
And this is Hellion's Walk, not Fennel's Close, as it says on list B. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Is there any comments at all?
I'll
No?
propose
Right.
neutral.
Right. Councillor Sitchcombe, Councillor Davison.
Second that.
Right. Thank you. All those in favour, please show. Any against? No. Carried. Right. Thank you. Item 6, Forest Glade. Yeah. DC 212459 HH. This is 41 Forest Glade. Part 2-storey and part single-storey side extension. Any comments on this one? No. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for neutral, please? Councillor Brown, propose. Can I have a second, please? Councillor Liz Smith. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Carried. Item 7, which is DC 212477 HH. 46 Grenadier Road, single-storey side extension. Any comments on this one? No. Can I have a propose and a second for neutral? Councillor Dave Smith proposed. Can I have a second? Councillor Liz Smith. All those in favour, please show. Okay. Councillor Sitchcombe, I think you've frozen.
Perhaps it's just I'm standing very still, sitting very still.
No, you're frozen because I can't see you putting your hand up. Well, you're frozen to me.
I've got my video bouncing back at me. Okay.
Right. Okay. Can you say yes and no to the votes, please? Because I can't see you. I'm zooming. You're sort of abstaining from voting.
I'm speaking. Are you not hearing me?
I can hear you definitely loud and clear, but I just can't.
Okay.
Your picture on my laptop is frozen.
Okay.
So I can't see you.
Do you want me to say yes for the last vote? Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that. You might have to do it again. I'll come to you in particular and ask you yes or no. Okay. In the next one. It's item application 8, which is DC 21, 24, 15, FUL, 2 counties industrial estate, unit 1 to 3, Falconer Road. Is there any comments on this one at all? No? Can I have a proposal and a seconder for neutral? Councillor Davison, second by Councillor Liz Smith. All those in favour, please show. Yeah, I can see you now, Councillor Sitcham. Yeah, that's fine. That's carried. Application 9. This is DC 21, 24, 97 HH, 3 Colbeck Road, 2-storey side and front extension. Okay, any comments on this one? Right, I've got a bit. It's been converted from a 3 to a 4 bedroom. I'll come to you, Councillor Smith. I just saw you. Which is a bit confusing because on one plan it shows 4 parking spaces at tandem, which in other words, they've, I don't know if they have, but it seems like they've taken someone else's parking space. And that's on the existing floor plan. Yeah, on the existing floor plan, it only gives 1 parking space then on the existing one. Then on the proposed one, it takes number 5's parking space. You're shaking your head, but that's what I saw. Written on the application form, it says plan required showing the relationship between 1 and 5, 1 and 3, including car parking. And it says a site visit required by planning team. So there's something going on there. Okay, can I have some comments then, please? Anyone wants to comment on this? Councillor Davison? Oh, sorry, Councillor Davison. I apologise. I saw Councillor Smith and he done it first because I did say to Councillor Smith, and I'll come back to you. Councillor Dave Smith?
Yeah, I think it's 2 parking spaces, isn't it, under the garage? It's under the flat next door. I don't think they've got any other parking spaces.
Yeah, there's 3 altogether there.
The space out front of that, sorry, I thought I was thinking. The space out front of their house, there isn't room for any more parking because it would block the garages or the parking spaces under the flat. The rest of that courtyard is not theirs, so I don't see where they're going to get the extra parking from. And it seems to be a large extension for the plot it's on, so it seems a bit like overdevelopment to me.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Davison?
Yeah, similar. I couldn't get my head around this. Basically, in the 3-car port, whatever it's called, they do have 2 spaces. They definitely do have 2 spaces. And then they're putting 2 tandem outside the carport and taking them as theirs. It is outside their house, but as someone said, I think it was Councillor Smith, it makes it very, very awkward for other cars to obviously access that courtyard, if that's the word. So I'm a bit confused on this one as well, because I still can't actually see. And what you were alluding to, Chair, was that basically between number 1 and number 3, that's what there was a confusion about.
Yeah,
It's not, because if you look at it, there's 3 properties altogether in one sort of courtyard, and I can't even see where the extension is going for number 3.
Chair, did you want me to show the street view?
yeah. You
And
can't
that's
see
what I've
it.
been
You can't
doing.
see where. You can't
That's
see
what I've been
where
doing, looking at the
extension's
street
going.
view. I can't see how it works.
Yeah, right. You see where the white building is on the left?
Yeah.
But you've got 3 spaces there, and you're right. Oh, Colin, can you go back up to where you were? Go along to the nearest. That's it. There, that's the number. That's the applicant. It's parking space. So he's got 2 parking spaces there, but he's also got number 5s on the plan, which is further towards me or Colin. The next parking, that one, he's also got 2 parking spaces there. He's showing on the plans. Well, that's number 5s. And obviously the other one is number 1s, the other parking space, 2 parking spaces. On the plans, he's showing that he's got number 5 somehow, but number 3 is where the white van is parked. That's number 3's car parking area. So what number 3 has got to do with it, I don't know. And the blue door is number 3, and the red door is the applicant. What they're extending, you know where the white building is, they're going to extend further onto the road, onto the main road. They're further along that way.
Chair, I think you're getting the numbers mixed up. The blue door is number 5, the red door is number 3, and it extends behind the white building, number 1. I didn't notice that. I didn't realise there was 2 parking spaces to each carport, which seems a bit strange. I wouldn't have thought there's room for 2 cars in each bay.
No, it's one inside the bay, Councillor Smith, and one in front of the bay.
But you can't.
Where the green bush is. You know where the green bush is? It sticks out there.
But that's part in front of number 5, so they couldn't use that, could they?
Well,
that's not part of their land.
I think where the red door is, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. No, you're right. It could be part of where the red door is the applicant, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you look at that red door, the car could fit in there. So but he's saying that he's taking the second opening, the middle out of the 3. He's taking them 2 spaces as well, which, you know, and that's number 5, which is the one with the white van. I don't know how he's got them spaces, but unless you know, I'm reading the application wrong. But that's what I got. Councillor Liz Smith.
Can we see the plans, please, if it's possible?
Yeah.
Just to have a look. Okay. So right. Got 2 number spaces. Number 3.
Number 3 is the applicant. Number 3 is the applicant. And number 5 is.
Yeah. So the other 2 spaces, I can't see what it says. Does it say number 3 or number 5?
3.
Right. If Colin, can you go to the other plan where they've got the car parking?
Oh right. So they're
there
proposing
it is.
that they can park in front of that building, can't they? Sorry.
Can you make it bigger so we can see on that car parking bit? Yeah, right. See, that's what it's saying. It's going to take. Have you got another plan where I saw the other parking spaces? It might perhaps it's not on that one. It must be another one.
Chair, it's on floor plans.
Right. Right. If you expand that a bit. Parking spaces, Colin, please. Right, if you see, oh, they're both number 3, aren't they? Ah, sorry, I do apologise. I thought I saw number 5. But they're so small, that's why. So they are both number 3. So they've got he's got 4 parking spaces. Which is strange. Because I thought one of them was number 5s. It don't matter. Councillor Smith.
Okay, so from that plan we've just seen, they're suggesting that they can park in front of their car parking spaces they've got in that that car parking area under the flat. But on the plans, it does show those spaces will overlap next doors. So it does seem rather, you know, they're going to come out quite a way. So it's not just in front of their own house, it's going to be in front of the other house as well. So I'm not sure how that will go down. I'm not sure where number 5 actually parks. I suppose you could say they're parking where the white van is. But yeah, but it's going to sort of cover that space as well. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So can I just can we look at that plan we had earlier with the outline, red outline of the land that they own? Because it looked to me as if there wasn't room there. Sorry, it was under the. Is there room there for actual parking outside? It looks to me like that where they're proposing their parking isn't actually part of their plot.
No, it's not.
See, it's a thin strip.
Yeah.
So to me, it looks like that where they're saying they're parking is not actually park. I don't know. Is it communal parking? Can they claim that as their parking space? I don't know. But I do know in that particular street, in that area, I had somebody contact me previously about issues over parking and parking on the green space. And I think it's the same area. So there is as far as I'm aware, a known issue about the conflicts over parking. So I don't know. It just, to me, that doesn't look like there's space there for 4 cars. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's if you look, see that's a very thin line, isn't it? Councillor Stitchcombe, I'll come to you in a minute. That's a very thin line looking from, you know, from behind number 1. So you can't really tell, can you? It's on the same lines as if you look at number 5 bit that sticks out the front door. It's similar to that, isn't it? It sticks out a bit more than that on number 5. Councillor Stitchcombe?
I'm struggling to understand what that red line on the site location plan actually means. I mean, what is the figure of 8 bit out by the road? I mean, it's just meaningless, isn't it? So yeah, on the face of it, they don't own. If you say, well, they only own they only have. Oh, hang on. There's a difference between ownership and right of way, isn't there? Yeah, the red boundary shows what they own, and for some reason it involves a funny bit out there where Colin's pointing, which is almost a figure of 8. I mean, what the hell that is? You know, it's just ridiculous. But they might have right of way or right of parking over any of it for all we know. We just don't know enough about it. I don't think we need to worry about it too much, really.
Yeah, as long as number number 5 can go in and out. But that is his garage, isn't it? The one with the white van? Is that number 5's garage? I presume it is. It's all part of that house, isn't it? Because it seems like that's been extended, that house. So I'm presuming that number 5. But what is on the application plan? That writing about 1 and 3, you know, I can't really understand that they've got to get in touch with number 1. That's plan required showing the relationship between 1 and 3, including car parking. That's that was written on the application. So I can't really, you know, that's confused me even more whether there's a problem with that area of parking. I don't know. Anyway, we can't.
Can I just say something, Pat?
Yeah. Sorry, Councillor Brown. Because I've got the smaller screen on. It's
all right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those two end bays associated with property number 3. Yeah. Number 3. So that means that no one else can park in front of those anyway, because they've got to allow access to those properties, number 3's garages there. So number 5 or no one else can park in that area anyway, because they'll deny access to the carport for number 3. So in effect, that is number 3's parking spaces, because if anyone else parked there, number 3 would not be able to get into its carport. So it's correct. They are allocated number 3, because if anyone else parked in those spaces, it's the same as a drop curb. That would not allow anyone number 3 to get into the carport. So in effect, that is their space, really.
Okay. Any other person want to speak on this one, this application? No?
Me.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Burns.
The red line, I had one like this not long ago where residents were disputing who actually could park under the carport, and the deeds on all these bits of land, they showed me a very similar sort of thing where actually the red line didn't even cover the carport, which I think this one is similar. And I think it's just over years, it's just become a natural thing rather than a legal thing. Oh, that's my parking bay, where perhaps actually it's not their parking bay. I think the problem being is that, if number 3 is now claiming that they can park, as Councillor Brown says, in front of their property, that's fine. But that's also, I'm assuming that number 5 includes that bit of building next to the blue door. It means if they, if number 5 wanted to park there, and they may have right of parking there. It all depends on what the original builders stated. But you did mention on the application form, what you mentioned about parking was actually in relation to the pre-application with somebody from West Suffolk, who have definitely highlighted the problem over parking. So at the very least, it requires 3 parking spaces for a 4-bedroom house plus visitor. So it'd be interesting to see, because if you can get two places, and I don't think they're wide enough for 2 cars, those bays, you are going to effectively block potentially your next door neighbours out as well, apart from the fact you've got obviously an extension coming forward as well. But I think it's worthwhile. Look, the pre-app actually says that they're obviously concerned and they want the site visit as well by the officers. So,
because obviously, as I'll come to you, Councillor Brown. Obviously, number 5 is that it looks like he's had that extension put in with a garage, and I reckon that his parking space was in the middle of them 3, and it seems like he's either made a deal with that particular person, or he's pinched it. He's took it to make 4 spaces. I don't know. I'm only guessing on that, but that's what it looks like to me. Councillor Brown.
Yeah, as I say, I think Councillor Burns is right that those 3 bays in that cart lodge type thing. It makes sense that one of them would have been for number 1, one would have been for number 3, and one would have been for number 5. So, like I say, it looks like West Suffolk, when they look at it, are going to have to find out exactly what's happening with ownership of all those bays. That's obviously critical to what's being planned at number 3.
Can we mention that, Councillor Brown?
Sorry?
Can we mention that on our...
I think we need, I think that's critical,
they should look
to the
at
application, that it's defined exactly who owns each of those bays and what rights people have got to those bays.
Okay. Councillor Burns?
Yeah, just to obviously clarify that land ownership is not a planning problem. Material considerations what I'm looking for, but I agree totally. It's even just looking at that red line. If I was a planning officer and saw that red line, I'd be asking the question first of all, what the hell's this? Where did this come from? Have they drawn it themselves? Has it come off the land registry? If it's come off the land registry, then I'd be asked, if as a landowner, they'd be saying, well, actually, this is wrong. I need to get this fixed if I ever want to sell my house. So that's what I say. Anyway.
Okay. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, I wonder if it's possible then to object on the basis that we think the parking needs to be looked at more carefully. With the planning officers that obviously suggested it in that statement. So would that be a basis for objecting? I'm not sure.
Chair, if I can, yes, certainly. Councillor Burns is quite correct that you don't actually need to own the land to apply for plan permission. But in the case of where they're claiming that they are able to build on their own land because this land is under their control as far as parking is concerned, I would have thought it's reasonable to ask that the planning officers satisfy themselves that the applicant does have control over this land, because on face value, I think all the councillors have said it really, this looks like communal space for manoeuvring, for visitor parking, etc. It may well be custom and practice to park there the occasional vehicle, although I noticed in this particular photograph that there's plenty of space within the covered area for vehicles to park. But if you did park in those spaces that are being claimed outside of the covered bays, well, you're certainly going to impinge on the same ability of number 5 to park, and it's going to be interesting to see how manoeuvring works. You'd certainly, if the middle bay is controlled by number 3 and parked a vehicle there, the far bay closest to the property itself, that vehicle would not be able to get out because it wouldn't be able to get past another vehicle parked there. So you really are, I mean, looks like a nice big area open plan space. I don't think it was intended as a car park, and that seems to be what number 3 is suggesting. So I would certainly suggest the planners should be confident that this space is actually under the control of number 3, and if it is, then that's up to number 3 how they use it. But if it isn't, and I do question whether it really can be, then it's not fair on everybody else.
Yeah, I quite right. I feel that was number 5 space, the middle one there, personally. But we'll see. Okay, Alicia, have you got all that? Right, can I have a proposer for whatever, please? Colin, can you take the picture down, please, so I can see the full screen?
Yep, certainly.
I've lost. Right, that's it. Right, Councillor Brown.
Yeah, I'm proposing objection on the undefined, parking situation there.
Okay.
There needs to be clarification on parking.
Yeah, clarification by the officers. Yeah. Okay. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, I second that. I was going to say the same as we just discussed, and the Colin sort of clarified.
Okay. Right. All those in
Before
favour?
you hold the vote, Pat, can I just double check? Someone did mention an overdevelopment of the site, and then you've just spoken about parking. Did you want overdevelopment in your objection as well? No? Okay, I'll remove that. Thank you.
Okay, is that it, Alicia? Yeah. Right. All those in favour, please show. Yeah, that's carried. Thank you. This is last but not least, application 10, DC 21, 2401, FUL, 39 High Street, rear security fence for Barclays Bank. Any comments on this one? Councillor Burns, and then Councillor Dave Smith.
Yeah, the only thing I've got a bit of annoyance about is that they just basically ignoring the fact that Barclays Bank is a Grade 2 listed building. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with putting up, stopping kids getting on the roof and everything. Of course, there's not. But the applicant for next door who wanted to do something was told they can't do anything because the effect on Barclays Bank. And I'm not talking about Empire Yard, I'm talking about the other side. But also Empire Yard are the same thing. But at the very least, there should be a comment from the conservation officer to see what they think, not what a planning officer thinks. I was a bit disappointed in that because, we all know Barclays Bank has been the building has been destroyed by Barclays Bank over the years because they put things in like the ATM on the side wall. They put in a few years ago with absolutely no planning permission whatsoever. They put cameras on the side wall. They've ignored all that Grade 2 listed stuff. But the only reason is the officer says, oh, it's because the back part is a new extension. But everything's attached to that building, so it's classified still as the Grade 2, including the bit that used to be Hart Cycles and all that sort of stuff. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but I have no major problem with the actual application itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Smith, and then Dave Smith, and then Councillor Brown.
Notwithstanding what Councillor Burns has said, I was just going to propose neutral because I think it's, it needs it. It needs it basically. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand what John's saying, but as the planning officer said, it's attached to the newer bit that maybe shouldn't have been there in the first place. But yeah, it's a health and safety thing. It is a problem of people getting up onto the roof, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm quite happy to go along with neutral on that one.
You second it, Councillor Brown? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right, it's Councillor Smith proposed, Councillor Brown second. For neutral, all those in favour, please show. Okay, it's carried. Thank you. Back to the agenda now. Right, this is item 8, matters to report. Any matters to report? Councillor Burns?
Yeah, sorry. I did put it in my main report for tomorrow night anyway about the fact that the building of the roundabout on Chalkstone Way has been deferred because of legal issues. I've sent a note to my contacts at County this afternoon asking them what's this all about, because we were expecting it to happen, and yeah, the roundabout stuff. And also about the how long the stuff on the main A143 is going to go on, because I think the length of the traffic lights, or the distance between the traffic lights up there, it seems to be extremely long. And I've noticed when people come through, they if you try to get out the side roads further down, like Millfields or even Chalkstone, it takes you even longer because you've got like 50, 60, 70 cars all in a stream, leading to build up. So at school time, it's getting even worse because of those traffic lights. So I've asked about that. Also, I've asked about the traffic lights at the end of Chalkstone Way, which is part of the planning conditions for Great Willsey, which is to replace the Pelican Crossing. They promised us they were going to come back to us shortly with some info, but that hasn't happened. And also, I started to notice damage to the road surface on even more damage to the road surface on Chalkstone Way, with sleeping speed humps being ripped up as well. Whether that's, I don't know whether that's anything to do with them or not, because there is a regular weekly survey carries on, but I noticed some quite big potholes starting to come up. And of course, we've got the ones in Chalkstone Way, in Milford's Way as well, which are like that. So I think that's all, but most of that's in my report for tomorrow anyway, so I just want to mention it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Liz Smith, is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Councillor Brown. Sorry, Councillor Brown.
Oh, it's right. Liz first and then me. Yeah.
I thought I missed one. Councillor Liz Smith and then Councillor Brown.
I was just going to mention the
Oh dear, sorry.
To West Suffolk.
Can you turn your
You can't hear
video
me.
off, Councillor
Are you
Smith,
losing me?
Dave Smith? Only
Okay.
your sound is gone.
I think it's yours, Pat, not ours.
Oh, is it? Right, sorry.
Okay, can you hear me
Got me.
now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Okay, so the plans for the prison expansion have gone in at High Point to West Suffolk. I know we probably aren't included in the consultation as a town council, but I wondered if we wanted to make a comment because you know, because of the infrastructure around that, and obviously we have lots of residents that you know, work in that environment. Just thoughts really about whether we as a town council want to make some comments and whether it's appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Councillor Brown?
Yes, that's a good point, Liz. Could that go on the next agenda for planning? That we discuss that. So you've got a bit of time to look at the plans, etc. Would that be okay?
Councillor Colin?
Yeah, we'll ask Vicky to get that sorted for you.
Yeah, thank you. And the other point was, it's just a question for John, really. There's, you seem to be the man that in the know of what's going on up at the northwest, etc. Have you had any update on the beginning of the bypass, John? Over?
Well, the relief road has started 8 months ago.
Yeah, I know it started, but it's stalled. Nothing's going on. It doesn't seem.
But there is stuff going on. But I have specifically also asked that question today, funny enough, as the last thing about where we stand on it in terms of opening. It is still supposed to be later this year that it's supposed to open.
What's going on at the moment then? It says.
Well, they've been clearing off all the site. They're doing all the land preparation work for the actual laying of the road. They're looking at all the arboricultural stuff that needs to be done, making sure there's no ditches or anything else that they bit like the one up at Great Willesey where they're building the houses at the moment. When they did all the groundworks up there, they found all kinds of unforeseen things underneath the ground they didn't expect up there. So I think they're doing all that. But I have asked County Council for an update on that as to what's happening about that. So hopefully we'll get some answers soon. They normally come back quite quickly.
Right, thank you. Right, okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Item 9, which is the date of next meeting, which is Tuesday, 15th of February, 2022, which is at 7 p.m.